Hello there.
Hey guys, how are we doing?
Very well. How are you?
All right, thanks very much.
Have we got the swear jar set up for Mark?
Oh no.
We're going to fund the next Masters. And clap.
Welcome to the Masters Matchup Cast for 2023 season. With three excited members of the Masters Committee. Wow, look, we're so excited. And we're supposed to be four, but George is unfortunately unwell, so best wishes to George. I hope he gets better soon. Stops leaking. Okay, so for those who don't know who we are, I'm Steve. I am the rep for Midlands bit. Elliot is the rep for which bit are you at?
Northeast.
Northeast?
Yeah.
Northeast. And Mark is kind of Kent and that bit.
Southeast, basically. Yep.
I am cold, Mike Smith. Thank you so much for noticing. But I'm wearing a heated vest. You notice I am lit because this is heated. So it's nice. Cool. So we're on a clock. I'm going to time us. We've got 8 minutes to talk about each matchup in order to try and keep it like a 2 hours. But so we'll crack straight into it. We'll try and keep an eye on the comments as we go, but see how we go. Where's the timer on the thing? It's probably on the clock thing, isn't it? Right. So there's only 3 of us now, so it'll be slightly easier, I think. So we'll crack straight in. So there's some facts and figures first. So here we go. So list facts from the 32 players. Is it 32?
26.
26. That's what I said.
26.
26 players. Mark is the TO for the day. I am kind of co-TOing. Anything that goes wrong is definitely his fault, not mine. Elliot's pissing off. Are you going to Norway still?
I'm in Norway, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at Air Kings of War tournament. Just
it is Kings of War.
Not in this country. And
you did qualify though, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? We all qualified, although mine was a drop down. So there you go. Move on. So average number of units is 14. So we're doing 2, 3, 4, 5 points. I think Mark, because you thought it was funny. Is that?
Yep, because it goes up in numbers, and it seemed odd. Why not do it? 2, 3, 4, 5.
Anyway, so 2, 3, 4, 5. Average number of units is 14. There's one list who's got 19 units, one list with 11 units, one with 16, but they're kind of clustered around that. Unit strength, average of 24, but kind of a big spread. One list has got 30 unit strength, one list has got 20 unit strength, so a big gap there. And the number of scoring units, the average is 11. So one is up to 19, and one is at 8 scoring units.
I was going to say, that's ultra elite. That's
pretty,
something, and it's painful.
Yeah, pretty elite. So a little bit of facts and figures. Keep those in mind as we go through. So this is the map. So it's the same map for every table. Is that right, Mark?
Same map for every table, and the bits on the map change each round. But it'll have the same number of bits each round.
Okie dokie. So it's a relatively high number of pieces of terrain, but smaller than kind of you might see otherwise. But difficult for shooting armies, I think, is the intention. Is possibly, Mark. Is that fair?
Yeah, not an easy run, and shouldn't be as open fields all the time. There will be some shooting alleys, but not the whole table.
Cool. So round one is plunder. Plunder, for those who can't remember, is where you have 5 loot tokens across the center of the table. 2 of them are allocated as 2 points in turn, and the other ones are worth 1 point loot tokens. So that is what the scenario we are discussing in terms of matchups. Do you know what I need to do? Is keep a little tally of who we think is going to win each game, so we can just be sure that we're wrong later.
So go back and judge us later on.
Yeah, I'm going to buy a packet of crisps for whoever gets the most right answers. Okay, so into matchup number 1. Boom, straight in. Start the clock. So matchup number 1 is James Mitchell's Elves versus Ian Rogers' League of Rodia. So we'll run through the lists first, look at their facts, and then we'll each kind of give our thoughts on the list. So James's list, he's been running pretty much the same list the entire year. He's got a horde of tall spears with hammer measure force, 3 Gladestalkers, the appropriate number of Gladestalkers, 2 Silver Breeze troops, the Quicksilver Lancers, Storm and Cavalry upgraded with Brew of Strength. He's got a horde of Drakon Riders with the obligatory Boots of Striding. I don't think they come any other way. He's got 2 Archmages, one of which is Banechant Lightning Bolt, the other which is the Boomstick, giving him Lightning Bolt 7. A King's Champion, who is the special character, 7 attacks. Argus Rodnar, and a Kindred Lord, Dragon Kindred Lord with Pipes of Terror. Up against James's Elves is Ian's League of Rodia. They are a regiment of Spear Phalanx with pikes, giving them Ensnare. A regiment of Foot Guard with the 2-handed weapons, giving them Crush Strength but Death 4. A regiment and a horde of Dogs of War. Both of them have got a special upgrade. So the Beasts of Targenspire for Fury Pathfinder and the Shields of Heterenberg for Ensnare and Phalanx. There's a lot of Ensnare in this list. 2 troops and mounted scouts with the default short bows. 2 hordes of Honor Guard, both of whom have Indomitable Will. One's got Strider, one's got Pipes of Terror for Brutal. And he's got a Mammoth. I love to see a Mammoth. I nearly put a Mammoth list. I do like a Mammoth. Battle Shrine comes in every bloody list. Heal-equipped Army Standard Bearer, Shroud of the Saint, who's got the Life Leech Aura, which humans get. 2 Wizards on Pegasus with Lightning Bolt 3. A Baron on Arales, and a Duke on Ancient Winged Arales. So a mini dragon and an even more mini dragon. So James has got 13 units with a unit strength of 21 and 9 scoring units. Ian's got 15 units, unit strength 27 and 14 scoring units. Elliot, give us your thoughts.
Very, very first thoughts. James's list is very tough. I've played against pretty much exactly this list before. It's very shooty. It's very gunliney. The terrain won't help James at all. Having the 3 hills right in the middle is going to be a faff for the Gladestalkers. It's one of the few things they can't play around by scouting into woods, etc., etc. I think I'll probably give this one to James. Ian's list is surprisingly slow while still being fast. So it's got the speed 7, it's got a couple of speed 9 things, but other than that, like James outspeeds it wherever he needs to. Like he wins every speed tie he wants to win and shoots more and fights better. So I think on the list, I think James probably has this one. If I was going against it, I wouldn't want to be Ian. I'd rather be sat there with the gun line.
Mark, your thoughts?
Yeah, similar. There is some nice bits in there. Shame it's only a reg of the pikes, because that would mess James's list up a lot with the phalanx. It's an uphill battle, but then I think it's James, but I think Ian could pull a crafty because James hasn't got many scoring units. So if he can grab and run or stop him grabbing them, yeah, it's a loot token one, so it's grabbing and running with them.
What's James got to carry the loot token? It's basically just Gladestalkers,
horde of spears and Gladestalkers. Which
depends if it's turn 1, I guess. I mean, he's going to scout up with Gladestalkers, isn't he? I think it's a lot of nerve to shoot through. I've played against, James plays it like every elf player, which is you shoot, you step back, you shoot, you step back, you shoot, you step back. That's not so great when you're having to grab loot tokens in the center of the board.
Yeah, and that's where if Ian plays crafty, he could steal it. But it's an uphill battle. It's not a. I think this is one which is James's favour, but it's also for James to lose.
Yeah, I think you're right. Ed, you haven't missed it. This is the first matchup. You're okay. Having said he's only got the Regiment of Spear Phalanx, he has got the Shields of Heterenberg, which are better Spear Phalanx.
It's got the better spears.
Oh, yeah.
Ensnare Phalanx Defense 5, which is significantly better.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it is an uphill battle for Ian. James is an exceptional player. He's very focused on this meta, on this shooting meta. I think his main punch is the cavalry and his Dracons, right? And he's got a horde of ensnaring phalanx to run them into. The Honor Guard are going to be...
But their fly or nimble speed, 10, 9. So don't run them straight into the front of the... Yeah, he does. He's got the Duke and Baron, but then you've got Duke and Baron versus the Dragon. The Dragon's better. James's hammers, I think, are better. It's basically going to come down to can the extra nerve and defense survive the shooting. It just needs a 1 or 2 spiky turns for James, and I think it's going to be a very hard game for Ian. But if Ian uses the hills smartly and plays around that and the terrain, I think it's certainly not a write-off for him.
No.
Fair. Okay, so Alec, you're saying James. Mark, who are you saying?
I'm saying James on it. Sorry, Ian.
I'll be balanced. Say Ian's got it. Come on, Ian. You can do it. I believe you. I believe in you, buddy. All right. That's our first matchup. On to matchup number 2. And we have Andy Marshall's Halflings, although they're going to be Goblins again, aren't they? Because it's always the same. Anyway, Halflings versus Paul Burke's Ogres, not Basilans. So here we go. Let's have a look at the army lists. So Andy has got 2 hordes of stalwarts, one of which has got the heroes of Hoddenberg. Say again?
Heroes of Testicle Mountain.
Heroes.
do you know what Hoddenberg translates into German?
No idea.
So when the book was first released, the Kings of War Germany page just put the thing up and just put Snigger. Type it into Google Translate, you see what you get.
Oh, it's a Testicle Mountain. Incredible.
Heroes of Testicle Mountain, yeah.
They are halflings, Andy says. I'm so sorry, Andy. That's the inadvertent insults Ed was looking for a second ago. There you go. They are halflings. No goblins. All right, then. All right. So anyway, here's a Hoddenberg. They get elite and inspiring. He's got 2 regiments of EJ Edge Grenadiers. 2 regiments of Juggers, one with Brew of Strength, one with Brew of Haste, base speed 9, double Harvester, a Muster Captain with all of the upgrades. I don't know what any of these things do. What does he give? He's Blade to Beat Slayer, so he's given it Sure-Footed Captain.
So that is Aura Strider for anything with Ravenous.
Cool. And he's got everything. A Miniature Aralaz for his speed 8, and he is Relentless. Okay. He's got a Sorcerer, also on an Aralaz with a loot. This is Sorcerer. Because Sorcerer doesn't have spells. He's got 2 Muster Captains on Winged Aralazes, one with Blade of Slashing, one with Mead of Madness for a little bit of Wild Charge surprise. And then he has taken the Wild Sorcery formation. He's given the Sacred Horn to the Spear Spikes because, of course, they all get Gastromancy, which is nice. Oh, they don't all. Sorry, the Spear Spikes get Gastromancy. And the Wild Runners get the Good Cooking upgrade. What does that do, Elliot?
Fearless and Elite when you're within 6 of something that's got Gastromancer.
Disgusting. Cool. And against this, we have Paul Burke not taking his Basilan Flying Circus, however, taking a pretty disgusting...
Gone the other direction.
A pretty disgusting... I don't know, Paul doesn't like friends. What he likes is winning. So
Paul's playing the start of version 2 meta and slowly catching up, but he's realizing it's still really good.
Paul's still here in 2021. He has 3 hordes of shooters, one of which has fire oil, 3 hordes of boomers, 2 regiments of warriors. What? They don't shoot? What are they in the list for? It's unlocks. A horde of troop of boomer chariots with black powder guns and the Sacred Horn for a little bit of stealthy aura. Double sergeants with hairy crossbow and 3 warlocks with lightning bolt 3, one of whom has the conjurer's staff. Oh, I just feel a little bit sick reading it out.
Warlocks also get the +1 to spells, isn't it?
They do. So when they're around all those hordes, you're looking at lightning bolt 1 billion. So Andy's got 15 units, 26 unit strength, and 13 scoring units. Paul's got 14 units, 25 and 14. So 14 because it's ogres they all score. So pretty similar in numbers. It's just that all of Paul's shoot, they do hit pretty well as well because they're all ogres. And Andy's is a little more flexible and kind of
The halflings have
scenario.
got spell word,
And there's a lot of spell ward in there as well. So yeah,
minus
what do you think?
for just the warlocks. Yeah, this is going to be a very hard game for Andy. It's a vile ogre shooting list. I think Andy's going to struggle. I think is the honest answer. He just doesn't have enough fast things to shut down ogre hordes. Like the juggers probably don't do it one-on-one, so they need 2 into 1 horde to reliably kill it. If you can pick off the one on the flank on the far end and turn and threaten flanks, but then Boomer's just going to turn and shoot at you.
So if you look at it, right, he's got 2 edge grenadiers and he's got 2 muster captains and winged arrow lasses. Right, so that's 4 fast hitting units that he can effectively throw away to hold down all the shooting while he brings up all the.
He can probably kill reliably 2 hordes a turn with all that combined. If they all of those get into an ogre horde, you can have a good go at 3 or definitely kill 2, which is a big chunk of the 6 shooting hordes effectively. It's can you get all of that in? If you can get all of that in and your stalwarts and your harvesters are untouched in the process, I think you're laughing. Because the harvesters are a lot better than people realise and do a ton of damage, and the stalwarts aren't bad in the slightest.
Melee 4, elite, especially the heroes of Testicle Mountain.
Yeah. They're good. It's going to be a tricky one because it's the nerve brackets for halflings are just lower than you would want for almost everything. It can get rally off, which is useful, but not having the headstrong from the Iron Beast just means that all it's going to take is one unlucky waver or a couple of unlucky wavers here and there. A horde of shooters could very easily waver a muster captain on winged arrows.
You can use terrain
get
around
everything in. I think Andy's got a good chance. If not, or the terrain doesn't suit him for the charges, or if he can, I think Paul's got the advantage going in. I think Andy certainly isn't out of the game to start with, but it's going to be a tricky fight for him.
Yeah, what's your thought, Mark?
I think Andy's played this sort of list quite a while, so I've got a feeling. Well, unless he does something stupid because it's the first game of the day, and it's Andy, and Andy does stuff stupid, same as me. Yep, there is. I think because he can box clever, so I think Andy could steal it.
See, I don't know if there being load of terrain helps Andy or not, because if Paul plays it clever and positions it right, it could soften that first charge where the halflings need to kill a horde or 2, and if you get hindered charges and you box things off so that you can't get multiple things in, because halflings need lots of people in together to reliably kill stuff, the ogres don't need to be shooting you to kill you, because 18 melee 4 crush 1 attacks will do a number on a lot of halfling units. So the terrain, I think, is going to be a really interesting factor both way around, because it will shut the shooting down quite a bit, but could also actually shut down that alpha strike that I think the halflings will need.
And Paul is very, very good at positioning. It's one of the things he's a very good. He's been playing that flying list, but he played Tom with an undead list, Tom Robinson, and did pretty damn well. And he's just got very, very good positioning. But I think terrain will play into it a little bit, because also, if it's not a shooting turn for these guys, all of these units will be hindered. There's no subtlety or pathfinder or any strider in this list either, right? And it's a very, very low number. No, it's not low. It's 14. You know what I'm talking about? Talk rubbish, me. lot of scoring, a lot of things to pick up units, maybe some sergeants to run and pick up some stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's going to be who can get in quick enough to pick it up and run away and hide, because they both can quite easily shoot each other off. Yeah, he's got 3 hordes doing at 30 inches, but then with the hills, can he see over all of them, or does he have to put himself in peril by being on one, and vice versa? It's one of those.
Not got any shooting in the list at all in Andy's list. It's all melee.
No, he's got 2 troops of short bows.
Where are they?
On the
wild runners.
Yeah, he's got 7 shots with elite.
Wow, steady on, and they are ranged 5.
Yeah, but no back powder, so no piercing.
John says they've missed the Strider aura. What does this mean?
Yeah. So the sure-footed captain Strider aura on the muster captain.
That's true.
Yeah,
this muster captain
that affects everything except the edge grenadiers, which again you don't really. The edge is out there to do stuff. They're there for the brutal.
To be fair, Paul's list is going to be legitimately terrified of this muster captain because he's crush 3 versus everything in the list. Everything in the list with 5 attacks. He's on an Aralas. He's only here, isn't he? So he's not going to double attacks or anything. But he's also spell ward, relentless. Kind of linchpin of the list. Interesting times. So, Elliot, who are you calling?
I want Andy to win it, just for the fact I don't want the Ogres to win. and I've got a soft spot for Halflings, so I'm going Andy.
We're all rooting for you, Andy. Mark?
I think Andy could steal it. It's another tight game. I think there's going to be a little bit of dancing going around the first 2 turns, getting all the positioning.
I think what's actually going to happen is first turn, Paul's dice will spike and Andy will lose 5 units and
cry.
Balance. I'll call Paul Burt then. Right. Then let's do to ask you guys first and then just choose the opposite. Let's see if we carry on the theme. Right. On to matchup number 3. We have Matt Goody and his Empire of Dust versus Alice of Elves and his filthy Twilight.
Speaking of filthy lists.
Speaking of filthy lists, right, here we go. Matt Goody's Empire of Dust. So I think you do a hidden gem at the moment, to be honest. We have 2 regiments of skeleton spearmen, a horde of skeleton warriors, 2 hordes of enslaved guardians. All of these are naked. A troop and a regiment of Revcav. The regiment's got boots of striding. A regiment of scavengers and a soul snare. A bone giant, and he's got the Slayer D6 upgrade, cleaver upgrade. An undead worm. The monolith. A revenant champion on a horse with surge 5. A cursed high priest with heal and surge 8. And an ammonite pharaoh on royal chariot with my favorite upgrade, Raz the Undying, which has the Restore Ancient Glory upgrade, meaning that he gives his melee values to any skeletons he's in combat with, which is super fun. So he can make anything in the list melee 3+. Against Matt's Empire of Dust, we have the Twilight Kin. Alice has been playing this for a while. He claims, you see him claim on Facebook, that he's not been beaten since he got this list, since he chose this list. Outrageous claim. He's only been playing 12-year-olds down a local school, but it's still good. He says not skeletons in combat with, pick a skeleton unit with 6.
Or did it change?
It's changed in the is it changed in Clash update? Okay. Oh, pick a skeleton unit within 6 inches. So, okay, so it doesn't have to be in combat anymore. It's like an aura. I see.
Oh,
just
wow.
one skeleton unit. Anyway, he's got a regiment of Void Touch mutants, which is kind of like Berserker Twilight King guys, 20 attacks, with Brew of Haste, making them speed 8.
Cavalry, but not.
They're
basically cavalry. They're cavalry out there.
Basically cavalry now, but 14, 17. So they've got like a troll nerve. 2 troops of Bound Phantoms. Fantastic chaff. 3 hordes of Impalers, ladies and gentlemen. 3 hordes of Big Shield. It's basically 3 hordes of faster siege breakers, kind of. Sort of. Not really. 2 regiments of Soul Flayers. And then he has got 2 regiments of boats with their harpoons, broadside harpoons. A navigator, who he's given Icy Breath. Oh, he hasn't given it. It comes with it. Icy Breath 5 and Bane Chant 2 because he's got the loot on it. 2 Summoner Crones, both of whom have got Weakness 4, one of which has got Celestial Restoration and a Void Lurker. With Pride of the Dark Fleet. What does Pride of the Dark Fleet do?
Inspiring and extra nerve.
Okay. Oh, yes, it's 1920. It's gross.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow.
Okay. So, Mark, let's go to you first. What do you think? You've got some pretty typical Empire of Dust list, I want to say. There's no show in it, but there is a lot of surge fun.
And Matt knows how to use it. He's used that quite a lot. So he tipped away from Empire Dust for a little bit and now has come back to it. And yeah, he knows that army very well.
Mm-hmm.
Alistair, though, yeah, to be honest, I think I'd give it to Matt because just Matt knows his army that much more. And Twilight has got some brilliant stuff in it. But I think people are still learning how to use them, especially the what's it called, flank shooting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't need to worry about the flank.
I fought my first game against Twilight last week. This week. Pretty nice, and the side shooting is a lot more useful than you might think because of the length of it. And I'd also say the fact that no one knows the army in many ways plays into Alistair's hands because it's a surprise when things happen.
Oh, it's an army of surprises, yeah.
Yeah, particularly like the Legacy of Oscan, which is an upgrade. So the Navigator gives an aura to different keywords, and they can choose each turn. So it's either elite for this, or this for this, or this for this. Elliot, your thoughts?
Alistair's list is scary, but I don't think unbeatable by any stretch. I know that he has had some really good runs with it, and he also has come across some Masters players and has then started to lose games from that. So I think there has been a bit of an element of people not having a clue, Alistair being very good with it, and it being a very strong list. Matt's list is, I missed there was no idol in there because I assume it comes as default in every Empire of Dust list. But otherwise, it's a really good, solid list. There's a reason it's the sort of more typical Empire of Dust list because it's good. And Matt used it really well. The Twilight Kin list is an interesting one. So the 3 hordes, there's a big footprint there because they're monstrous infantry. So they're 150 wide. Surprised that there's no planar apparition regenerating, radiant to life and healing them. So it defends 4 in the flank, and they are killy, but they're not unkillable with the Impalers. But what I'm sure is going to happen is the Soul Flayers and the Void Skiffs just flanking anything that gets into them. The shooting, I say, is a gimmick on the Void Skiffs because the power of the Void Skiffs isn't the shooting, it's the fact that they're effectively medium cav for very cheap price. And the shooting is just a nice little upgrade whenever you need it. I think people got really distracted by the shooting, thinking that it wasn't good. And it's like, yeah, but look what it's on. It's a really good unit without the shooting. Alistair's list is tough. I think Matt has a good chance against it. This is probably the harder one to call, I think, so far. I don't think either of them's got a huge advantage either way.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, my one thought about Alistair's list is, having played a lot with Night Stalkers recently, Soul Flayers ain't all they're cracked up to be. And I think, that Def 4, 13, 15 nerve is and the massive footprint they can, they turn into essentially into chaff. And he's already got better chaff in the list, which is the Phantom. So it's the situational use of Wind Blast. I can't see it.
I mean, if you look at the footprints on this list, you've got big chariot regiments, big monstrous infantry, big Soul Flayers. The Void Touch Mutants are heavy infantry again. There's a lot of terrain around. I know there is stuff that can get around it. I mean, the Void Touch mutants, I think, are wildly underrated.
So good.
They're heavy cavalry with elite and vicious. In this, they're 16 with wild charge D3, 3-day wild charge D3, so they're faster than Cav.
Up to 19 charge. Yeah.
It's almost wasted because most of Matt's army is fairly slow, so you might as well just be speed 7 at that point. And
some scavengers and worm, but that's about it.
I want to watch this game. I think it'll be interesting.
I'm going to give it to Matt as well. I think he's just got the durability to kind of plow through it. And there's some heal on his list. What are you about? Who you giving it to? You gave it to Matt as well, Mark?
Yep, I gave it to Matt. Sorry, Alistair.
I think Alistair has a very good chance of this one. I think it'll be Matt has the tools, but I think Alistair is playing really well with this list at the minute.
Very good player. He's been playing very well recently. Okay, on to the next list. We have got. I didn't do that bit. Sorry. Is it important? I don't know.
Pretty even, really. Isn't it?
It's pretty even. Okay. We have got Steve Tono's Salamanders versus Pete Wrench's Forces of the Abyss. So this is a cool game. There's 2 lists that I like. So Steve Salamanders, he has got a regiment of Corsairs, 2 hordes of Fire Elementals, a regiment and a horde of Scorch Wings, less than the obligatory 7, which is disappointing. A Greater Fire Elemental, and he's given him Rallying, which is a cool upgrade for the Fire Elemental hordes. He's got Double Phoenix. Disgusting. He's got a Mage Priest with Amulet of Fire Hearts, and he's tooled him up. Let me tell you,
all the spells,
guys.
Wow,
it's too many spells. Third Banechant, Veil of Shadows, and Host Shadow Beast on a single Mage Priest, and Amulet. I suppose he's got Amulet of Fire Hearts, so he can cast 2 of them, so it's fair.
Has he been taking a leaf out of Chris Lynch's book?
Is that what it is? With his
650, I think he'd done for one mate.
Disappointed not to see that in this competition. He's got Firebrand, the cool hero. He's also got Rakawas, the Pale Rider, as a Titan. And then he's got the Whispering Scales. Formation, which comes with 2 regiments of Primes, one of which has a Staying Stone, one of which has a Chalice of Wrath. And then, Zoel Kifley, the Unseen, who has Aura of Elite for Whispering Scales, an Aura of Pathfinder for Heavy Infantry. A lot of auras going on here, so it's pretty cool. So nice little Salamanders list, very, very nasty. And Pete's Forces of the Abyss. So Pete qualified, I believe, as top Abyss player, which means he was obligated to bring them. He has 3 hordes of lower abyssals, all of whom have been upgraded with Crush 1, making them Defense 3. He's got 2 hordes of Succubi Lava, which is kind of just like, hello, tar pit. Troop of Gargoyles, 2 hordes of Molochs, both of whom have been given the Despoiler Champion upgrade, making them Defense 4 and Brutal.
Gives them... Is it Brutal that gives them or something else? It makes them punchier, doesn't it? They're already Defense 4, so...
Gives them stuff.
Yeah, it might be the Brutal and Vicious or something. It makes them punchier.
Tomorrow. Double Cronius, both of which Drain Life 8 edition. Ouch indeed. And then Triple Warlock. Just to really rub it in, he's got a Triple Warlock, all of whom have got Banechant and... all of them have got Banechant. 2 of them have got Drain Life, and 1 of them has got Veil of Shadows.
I love this list.
It's really good. This
is really what I wanted. Both these lists I love.
Very good.
Pete's, I just think...
Just briefly, while I forget. So Steve's got 14 units. Pete's got 3. Pete has got the highest unit strength in the tournament at 30.
They should do, because he's got like 9 big hordes of...
He's got 13 score units. Steve's only got 11 score units. So, sorry, Alec, you were saying.
It's a really, really fun list, isn't it? It's hilarious just how much crushing strength is going to be wasted in from the Salamander side. Oh yeah, my 5 elementals are really good at breaking armor. Here's some more lava. There you go.
Yeah,
more
across
snaring. Actually, it's Defense 4. Refer to them.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's got more defense than you think. Yeah, Yeah, but you're still just feeding them units, aren't you? Yeah,
it's quite apart from the Phoenixes, it's quite a melee focused list, I want to say.
Yeah. No, so I've played against Steve and this is a particular list, and he's really, really good with it. Knows exactly what he's doing with it. Can definitely get the most out of this list. Again,
I think Pete's going to win the grind though. If they get into the grind, I think Pete's won the grind.
I don't think Steve will get into the grind though.
Yeah,
I think that's Alistair.
I'm going to assume so. I think Steve's going to be avoiding the grind at all costs here because he loses it.
Massively.
But he's more than good enough to avoid the grind, and he's got the units to avoid it. He's perfectly capable of just not engaging in that fight. He actually got a surprising amount of shooting in this list, albeit like 12-inch range for a lot of it. I think Steve's probably got it, to be honest. I really like the Force of the Abyss list. I don't think it's incredible, but it's a lot of fun, and I'd love to have it and use it and see it on the table, because I just think it's really cinematic as a list.
He's painted like 90 lower abyssals. The guy needs an award, as far as I'm concerned.
Again, there's a big footprint going on here. There's Morlock hordes are almost as wide again as all those infantry hordes. At least the Warlocks aren't taking up a lot of space. But yeah, the Cronius has a healing as well because the temporal ruptures heals back other stuff, doesn't it, within range? So.
And he's got Veil of Shadows, if you can, which Veil of Shadows 3 as well, so it's going to knock off. I think by the time, I suppose he'd be focusing on shooting Molochs, won't he, really? But I think by the time he gets through all the unit strength, I wonder if he's got the strength left to survive. And I would say Pete's a newer Kings of War player, I want to say. He's relatively local to me down in Worcester. I think he's an undiscovered talent. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good
I've faced his Forces of Abyss and nasty. They hurt.
I give it to Pete.
Yeah, I think it's.
I don't think that's a bad call. I think for me, I
haven't faced Steve's, so
having seen how well Steve can play the Salamanders, I think he's got the skill needed to not get stuck in and grinding this list. Which would be the trap. But yeah, I think again this would be a really good game to watch for that one.
Yeah, really. Mark, who you got?
I think I'm down on with Pete on it. I think with the different bits he can possibly pull in the trap, as it were, or it's not so much a trap. It's Steve will have nothing else to do but get into the grind at one point.
Yeah.
But
so
I think it's Pete.
Interesting, isn't it? So I would say, by the way, we are trying very hard not to give advice about how to play the games in this. We're just trying to give our opinion, but obviously sometimes we do slip up a bit. So
what do we know?
What you want to do is focus on killing this one unit. If you do that, we're trying really hard to just be kind of opinions rather than advice. Anyway,
but you'll notice we are not at Masters.
None of us are there.
So don't right. What we're saying.
No, I am. Both me and Mark are there.
Oh yes, but you're not playing.
No, that's true.
Oh yeah,
unless someone doesn't turn up.
Unless something goes terribly wrong.
Yeah. So on to the match number 5, which is the magnificent Ed Herzig.
Battle for the two nicest people in wargaming.
And Rich Tomlinson's Ogres, who I have lost to very recently. Still hurts. So here we go. Ed's Forces of Nature. It's not all trees as he has been. He was running. Instead, he's gone for a much more kind of balanced approach. He's got 3 regiments of Hunters of the Wild, one of which has the Hammers of that thing. Hammer of Yep. 2 regiments. Yep. Thanks. 2 regiments of Forest Shamblers, so some thick chaff. 2 regiments and a horde of Bray Striders. All of them have Frenzied Otter. What does Frenzied Otter do? I don't remember.
No.
I'll find it. Or something. One's got Blade of Slashing, one's got Staying Stone. I do like Brave Striders, but the Mantic
Once
models
per
are
game,
very...
you can reroll to 3 dice of a 1. So it's
Okay, so yeah, it's
soft vicious.
triple elite. Triple vicious. Okay, and then double Beast of Nature with wings and 7 attacks. A Druid with Bane Chant, Hex, and Scorched Earth, and the Conjurer's Stuff. Just plain Druid, and then
you don't see Scorched Earth that often.
You don't, and I think
very
it's
good
because
spell.
it's too difficult to play.
It's a brilliant evil spell. It's brilliant, but you don't see it that often.
Automatically hinders, doesn't it? Yeah. Only Scorched Earth 2 though, but he has got the Conjure, because Conjure Stuff can't be used on Scorched Earth because it's a unique spell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it can be.
Green Lady with her balance for either Radiance of Life or Cloak of Death. Keris and the Solar Staff, which is fantastic, and the Wilt Father. You heard it with Wilt Father. So vicious to the Beasts of Nature, vicious to the not the Brave Striders, but the Hunters of the Wild get it, and the Forest Shamblers get it if they're within 6 inches. So that's Ed's Force of Nature list against Rich's Ogres. So it is a horde of hunters, 2 hordes of siege breakers, 2 troops of red goblin scouts, a blaster, a giant with the Slayer keyword, who's going to be good against those shamblers, a warlock with Fireball, Drain Life, and Veil of Shadows 2.
They can take Fireball.
Yeah, I took Fireball.
I had no idea they can take Fireball.
Yeah, there you go.
No,
you can go up to Fireball 11 because it goes up to 11, right?
And it's thematic against the trees.
Yeah, burn those trees. I really feel it should do more damage to trees. Anyway, Nomogrok, Kuzla and Madfall, and then that bloody Chariot regiment that messed me up. With Helen Wheels, so he's got 2 regiments of Chariots, one with Elite and one with Strider, and a Warlord with the Crocodog. Okay.
Can they both win? These are genuinely the 2 nicest people in Wargame.
Very, very nice people. They're very nice. Oh, sorry, facts. So Ed is 14 units to Richard's 13. 26 unit strength to Richard's 22. But of course, all of Richard's units score because Ogres. And Ed's down to 11 scoring units because he's got a few characters. Not a great deal of shooting in Richard's list. There is the Fireball, there's the Blaster, and there is Nomogrok's Lightning Bolt. So Keris's Solar Staff is probably best. Not that we're giving tactics and that, but it does disorder units, right?
Yeah,
and there are
it strips Thunderous, which is less useful against things like Ogre Chariots because they've still got the crushing. But it's not nothing.
The points in UK Masters is 2, 3, 4, 5, Jeremy. It's nice to see it. So
that's why we let Mark loose on it.
Because we thought it was funny. Yeah. It was a vote, to be fair, but we all thought it was funny. So obviously there's a lot of
Mark's madness.
So Ed's typically in combat turn 1 or 2, right? Mm-hmm. So with Hunters of the Wild and Shamblers and Wiltfather all scouting. So that's going to be good. Rich is very fast, so combat turn 1, guy.
Yeah, this should be a really good, fair, honest game of Kings of War, isn't it? There's no gimmicks. There's nothing unpleasant either way. It's just 2 really good, solid, rounded lists played by 2 lovely people. Or
Conjure Staff does work with Scorched Earth, so that's good.
There you go.
I'm going to give it to Ed Herzig because Rich beat me in a recent tournament.
Perfectly fair and decent reason.
Yeah. I think Ed's got it. I think Ed if he gets that
I'm with Ed on it. So I'm with Ed. I think he's going to win this one. I think he's going to win this one. I think Richard's got an uphill battle against this, I would have thought, but I also love the fact it's a completely different ogre list. So fair play, Richard. It's massively different list to what the other one was. So
I actually think Richard's got the edge here list wise. I'm not sure Ed's got quite enough punch. the horde of centaurs are the biggest hammer in there, really. And 24 attacks is nothing, not nothing at all. But other than that, 12 attack regiments, Hunters of the Wild don't have any crushing. They've got vicious, which is useful. Shamblers are effectively there as chaff. So you're relying on the Wilt Pappy, flanking beasts of nature, and that horde to do most of your work. He's still got siege breakers. He's still got hunters that have got ensnare. He's got good chunks of nerve and units that hit back really hard. Does Rich? So I think it's. I think Rich has probably got enough punch and enough stuff to harass a few key units on the way in. But it's going to be a really good fair game. I think this one.
I think a horde of cavalry is hard to play without a great deal of practice, but it has had a great deal of practice. I'm not sure that, although Rich's list does kill, it doesn't tend to kill first turn, tend to kill like first combat, it kills the second combat, by which point beasts of nature are haranguing your flanks, particularly against that big flanker. So I think it's just going to be so. I love to watch.
Ogres don't like flyers, do they? It's
no,
famously always been an issue for Ogres. Is
Mark, who you got?
I've got Ed, and I think it's going to be a bit of another ballet one.
Ballet.
But I think Ed's got it.
If by ballet you mean combat turn 1, then yeah.
No, I think it's also going to be because there's going to be a lot more dancing about as well, especially with the flyers and Richard trying to get in position to smash him through because he's got quite a bit of speed on there as well.
Very fast, very fast. Let's right. We are cracking on through this. On to the next matchup. We have John Quayle and his Basileans. Does he even play Empire of Dust anymore? Anyway, John Quayle and his Basileans versus Simon Cooper and his Ratkin. I think it's a very interesting matchup because John has obviously been playing Basileans day in, day out for years. Come second at Masters twice with Basileans. Came second at Clash of Kings with Basileans.
He's the ultimate bridesmaid, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Quayle.
Yeah, he is. Whereas Simon is playing a brand new army that he's just written. But on the other hand, Simon Cooper is a very nasty nasty player. He's extremely, and he had played Ratkin a lot previously.
I was going to say, yeah, sure, he used to play Ratkin as well, didn't he?
He did indeed, and this is, I think it's planning to be his army for this year, but obviously Simon's one of my local players. He's very, very good. So, interesting list. So, John's, when I was nearly sick in my mouth, it's coming up again. It's fine. So, it's just the 2 regiments, 2 hordes of Elohi.
Yeah.
So the regiments have got defense 5. The hordes are the Crush 2 upgrade. Okay. Celestial Fury. One has got Chant of Hate. One has got Blessing of the Gods. He has 3 troops of Gur Panthers, a regiment of Paladin Knights with the Aegis Fragment and Brew of Strength. And then 3 Phoenixes, Knight of Celestus, and a Paladin on Dragon.
He doesn't have Julius.
He doesn't like Julius. What's?
to be honest, I would have taken Julius before the Paladin, but that's.
I hate Nias. Anyway, Ratkin. So we have a horde of warriors. We have 2 hordes of wretches, 2 hordes of nightmares, a regiment of Vermintide, a regiment of tunnel runners with Brew of Sharpness, a double Death Engine Impaler, a Night Terror, a Tangle, a Swarm Crier with a Sacred Horn because he has the elite aura for tech only. So that's going to affect the Nightmares and the Tunnel Runners. Broodmother with Conjurer Staff and the basic Train Life. And Scud Kuzaluk, the Demon Spawn of DU. The EU, I always mention. It's always the Demon Spawn of the EU in my head. Like the European Union. Anyway, the best dragon in the game. So, there we go. We have got John's Basileans, a very, I suppose, average number of unit strength for Basileans at 13, 25 unit strength, 13 scoring units, everything scores. And Simon, only 1 non-scoring unit, which is the Swarm Crier, 27 unit strength and 14 units.
If you looked at those 2 lists, you wouldn't have assumed those stats.
Right? It's a really weird one, right?
Super elite that's not elite, and then horde that's not a horde.
because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 3
It's the
troops of
Panthers,
Panthers just knocks up the unit strength. I mean, they will all die, but Triple Phoenix, they all score, and they're all unit strength 2 as well.
Yeah, that's what's done it. Is the Phoenix getting unit strength 2?
Oh, I did. It's got to be John, I think, hasn't it, with that one?
Sorry, Simon. I think you're going to be very sore after this game.
Yeah.
I think this is tough. I think this is tough.
This is really tough.
I mean, John's going to be hiding behind all the hills, which is one thing.
Yeah.
But the Death Engines...
Except the Phoenixes that'll be shooting over them.
Yeah. Death Engines, they wild charge D3 off at speed 8. That's 19 charge, but unfortunately, everything in John's army is speed 10.
Yes, or has a Ger Panther in the way of it.
Yep, and
because you just put some Ger Panthers out in the middle so you can't get to all the fun things, and then if you do charge the Ger Panthers, everything just goes mobs you.
I mean,
not giving advice.
I suppose if you look at this list, right, it's got double wretches and hordes. They're all garbage.
No playbots either.
And the warriors have got phalanx. So anything in John's army that charges it is screwed. Right, so he's going to try and maybe I don't know, use his shooting that he's got, but I don't think he's got enough shooting to take off 3 hordes by the time Simon can engage with him. And Simon's a canny enough player to manage the flying threat. It's very, very hard to manage this much flying threat. But with the board that we've got, I don't think it's undoable. It's just managing the charges that you can. I've got to go with my local boy. I can't not rep Simon over Quail. Who's he anyway? Am I right? Named a tournament after himself. Please. Anyway. Simon says, I agree. John has this one.
Going into it with all the confidence.
And then he says, I'm just trying to lure him to a trap. Don't tell him. Lol. Right. That's funny. Right. Good luck, guys. That's another fun game to watch. Right. And then on to matchup number 7. We've got Brendan Heath, young Brendan Heath, the younger of the Heaths, with his undead. He's qualified as best undead against Rob Hudson, who is this evening quite drunk on wine and posting inappropriate messages into the players' chat. With Riftforge Orcs. So let's see what we've got. So Brendan's a pretty new player. He's under 18, so he's the junior representative at the tournament. Really good to see him. He's got a horde of zombies, a horde of revenants. I think he just kind of went into the list and just went, yeah, one of everything. A horde of revenants, a troop of wraiths, a regiment of mummies, a horde of werewolves with brew of strength, a horde of zombie trolls with brew of sharpness, which are really nasty, 2 troops of revcav, triple balefire catapult, which I like a lot, a Goreblight, a Lich King with the Amulet Fireheart again, and Surge and Alchemist Curse 4, which is very nice.
That is nice, isn't it?
It's 175 points, but that's still pretty nice.
But that's still nice. Well, Fearless 14, Speed 7, I like that.
Speed 7, no flying anymore, unfortunately, but still pretty good. 1 Necromancer with the Vicious Aura for zombies, which is going to affect the Goreblight,
Trolls.
Zombie Trolls. Yeah, zombie trolls. Those zombie trolls are really, really flashy. He's got Knowledge Ball, which gives him the ability to take Veil of Shadows 3. He's also given him Surge and Bane Chant. Pretty tooled up Necromancer. Possibly over-tooled. All right. And then Morgoth, the mandatory, because he is bloody brilliant.
Yeah, he's back to being very good.
Good list. Right, so on to Rob's Riftforge Orcs. So a little bit simpler list, but he's got double Riftwalker Troop, double Tundra Wolf Regiment. I've not seen many Tundra Wolves in Riftforge Orcs. That's nice to see. Triple Hellstriker Hordes. 1 with Strider, 1 with Haste, and 1 with Drunken Ram, giving it Crush 1 Thunder 2. A Storm Giant with the Giant Cleaver upgrade, giving it Slayer. Bonar! Love Bonar. Bonar and Vodler. And then a Stormbringer on Wind Slasher. So this is the Dragon. So a very fast fly list, pretty elite. So Rob has only got 11 units to Brendan's 15. However, more unit strength than Brendan because Brendan's undead, and that's what they're like. Brendan's only got 9 scoring units, very, very low. He's gone all the characters, whereas Rob has got 10. 10. Right. So, Steve Pearson says, Brendan never rolls anything but 6s. He's got this.
Tactical decision.
We will be checking Brendan's dice before the game.
Brendan's been doing really well this year with his Undead. Obviously, got to Masters with them. But has just been playing them really consistently and doing well with them. It's all going to come down to how hard that first charge goes from the Hell Strikers. If the Balefires get first turn and get really lucky and take a horde off, that'll be brilliant. If the Undead can survive that first hit, and it is a big if, with Tundra Wolves in there as well, because they're a really good unit for this, chewing through bodies, then they've got Surge and Drain Life and all the usual Undead tricks to... Like the Reforged Orcs can't grind here at all. There's actually not a huge amount of nerve in that list.
Not a lot of Drain Life. You drain off 7 off Morgoth.
Yeah, you've got Morgoth and you've got the... I always assume it's on the Lich King and it's not, is it?
It's not. No, he's gone for an Alchemist Curse Lich King.
Yeah.
Which against this list is okay. It's mostly defense 5. Vodler is defense 6. I don't like Vodler. I think he's rubbish. Sorry, he's like the worst hero in the list. I do like seeing the dragon.
Yeah. I think Rob's probably got this one. I think it's just probably going to be too fast and too hitty.
We will be playing on the clock. We're going to be quite strict about the clock. You know, I'm just saying.
How much thinking can it possibly take just to charge at somebody? His head.
What do you think, Mark?
I would normally say Rob, but he's not been on form for the last few. So, it's by rights Rob should do it, but if he snaps out of his form right at the moment, or Brent, because otherwise Brendan's got this.
Plus, Brendan's coming with the pedigree of he's probably our first, second generation Kings of War Masters player.
Right. That's quite an achievement. He should be congratulated to get to Masters at that age. I think it's really
because his dad was in the Masters, wasn't he, a few years ago?
Yeah, Richard. Richard's the guy behind our fly through on Clash of Kings. He's a drone photographer. I think Rob's very, very good at positioning. I think he's better with his dwarves than he is with his orcs.
He's done very well with his orcs, but he's also done horrendous.
Didn't he come last in the tournament recently?
Straight
last. The only way is up.
Yep.
Coming off a straight last complete 3-game defeat into Masters with the same list. Let's go. I'm going to give it to Brendan because I played Undead and they're absolutely broken. Ed, sorry, Elliot, who are you giving it to?
I'm going to go to Brendan. He's not going to. I don't think he's got it, but I want him to.
No, by rights, it should be Rob.
It probably is Rob. I think, to be honest, I think it's a very punchy list. Is that the Balefires are going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting, to swing that matchup.
Crafty Waver can completely change this, though.
If they really spike on, if they get a good first turn of shooting, if you kill a horde and Waver one, then can you just imagine how different this game would be?
Yeah.
But that's a big ask.
That's a big ask.
And not something to plan your game around.
And they're not Rusty's war engines.
Yeah. Rolling them 6s. So, Elliot, are you sticking with Brendan?
Yeah.
Mark, you going Rob?
Yep.
All right.
If all I can roll is 6s, then it'll be fine. As long as all the Balefires hit every time.
Pre-warning, Brendan, I am checking your dice. Right. On to matchup number 8. John Guns and his Goblins versus Andy Ransom and his Abyssal Dwarfs. This is another... God, I'd love to watch this game. Two very, very nice men.
Well, you'll be able to, because I'm sure Andy will be filming it.
Yeah, no, well, Andy, I'll be watching it later. Thanks for asking. Okay, so John's Goblins. So he has got 2 regiments of rabble. Just 2 regiments of rabble. He has got 2 regiments of Fleabag Riders. I'm quite hard to read this because of all the custom names. I'm going to focus really hard. 2 regiments of Fleabag Riders who have got more pups to add to the formation which he's got later. So bear that in mind. He's got a troop and 2 regiments of Mincer Mob. And so the troop's got skirmisher boots, which I really like on a Mincer Mob. That's a very nice square-based little troop. He's got 2 giants, both with the giant cleaver. He's got a king with the trickster's wand for hex 2, which is nice. He has got a whiz on a mount with inspiring, lightning bolt and bane charm. He's got Magua and Juice. And then he's got the best formation in the game, the Bang Stick. So 2 more regiments of Fleabags, both of which he's given more pups to, and Gorp, the king of Fleabag, who he's given the loot to.
Beautiful, intelligent person wrote that formation. Had a lot of fun doing it.
Was it you?
It was me, yeah.
It's a great formation, really fun.
Don't play Goblins, I just love it.
So that's a very, very fast list. Very, very fast list for Goblins. Very punchy, quite fragile. So Andy Ransom's been. Now, Andy put this list up for a vote on his Facebook page, or against a different one, against a golem-based list, and the good public chose this one. So here we go. We've got a regiment of Immortal Guard with the Infernal Wardens upgrade, which gives them, I think it's the crushing strength and piercing versus regeneration. Is that what it gives them? I'm assuming. Oh no, that's fire oil. That's fire oil gives it that.
So I thought it did give them crush 1, but maybe Easy Arm has not caught it. I don't know.
No, anyway,
I'll find out. I'll look into it.
Have a look. Thanks. Immortal Guard with the upgrade. So double troop of gargoyles, double regiment of half breeds, 1 with elite, 1 with strider, double grotesque hordes, 1 with haste, 1 with mead of madness. So trying to make those as fast as possible. This is his attempt to make it as fast as he can. 1 Katsu-chan rocket launcher, which I think are terrible. He's gone for Susan, Basusu the Vile. Bracky Barker, who I think is great. A grotesque champion with Blade of Slash. You don't see them very often. And then a supreme Ironcaster on Great Winged Half-Breed with a disappointing only 2 spells. He's got the Diamond Dragonkind, giving him Fireball 18. He's got Half-Breed Affinity. Don't know what that does. Anyone? Christ, I haven't played it this dwarf enough. Elliot, got another job. Look at what Half-Breed Affinity is. And Heal 4. So, while Eddie's looking up all the rules,
so Infernal Wardens is crush 1. So the Immortal Guard are crush 2 against stuff with regen.
Okay.
And carry on.
And Half-Breed Affinity, I assume, is something to do with half-breeds.
It's
going to be
the dice go up to a maximum of +3 for every half-breed or grotesque unit within 6.
So
it's
with
the Warlock rule.
Okay, so if he's within the half-breeds and grotesque aura, then he's got Fireball 21.
Yep.
Which is just hilarious. Hilarious. Mark, what do you think? We've got very fast, very fragile goblins. I mean, very fragile goblins. There's a max nerve is giant. I mean, apart from the giants, even the mincers dash 16. Max nerve. But the giants are 18-20, which is pretty gross. And then we've got this against them, very fast, pretty fragile abyssal dwarves. This is a glass hammer contest. Who's got the glassiest hammer? Or the hammeriest glass?
I think I prefer John's for it, just because it's faster. Just the Fleabags are all speed 10, which is hilarious. The bang stick formation especially will do a number on grotesques because the defense. They're finna 5 now. The other 4 or 5.
Yeah, 5.
But still, 2 of those in could do a lot. As Andy said, the mincers defense 6, mincer mobs, so they're actually more survivable than you think because they've got big shield.
True.
And and he's got the Slayer option on the Giants, so they're getting.
But this is a great set because he's got grotesque and half-breed, which is all the thunderous charge and crushing strength and vicious. They're literally going to smash into each other, and whoever rolls best on that first combat
Pretty
wins.
much, yeah. That's it. There's fury on both the half-breeds and the grotesques, so you've really, really got to hit them hard. If you don't kill them, you die. This matchup.
So on that basis, I'm going to choose Andy Ransom because I know John Guns' dice are terrible.
They're famously
He's got
appalling.
terrible dice.
I think the Mincers are probably what's going to tip this. I think it's going to be everything will die, and the Mincers will just turn up and pick up anything that's left when they finally arrive.
So Elliot's going for John.
One regiment of Mortal Guard will pick up the entire rest of the board.
They'll just be. None of these can pick up tokens. The Grotesque Champion can, I guess. So the Grotesque Champion is going to wander down the line just like that. Thanks for the token. While everything else is like blowing up around it. Mark, who you got?
It's a hard one because there's not much shooting on either, really.
5 or 21, buddy.
Oh no, that one. Yeah, that's one character part. But I think that it's that bit which I think tips it in Andy's favour. Is being able to shoot off flimsy goblins.
True. The rocket launchers, I don't like Catstone rocket launchers because there's no piercing. They're just really terrible at that. But against Death 4...
Well, it's piercing 1. It's piercing 1.
Oh, piercing 1, yes. My bad.
But they're pretty ideal for killing flea bags.
Yeah.
And not a lot else, really.
And he's got Basusu and a dragon.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a tight one, but I think Andy, sorry, John, because he's going to squeeze this one.
Plus, he's an internet celebrity, so
that is true. So I'm going for John. Who likes internet celebrities?
No one. Everyone hates people with YouTube channels. Those guys are absolute right. Okay, fun. On to the next one. We have Justin, the second Twilight Kin player of the tournament, table 9. Oh, not table 9, matchup 9. The tables will be allocated when you get there, guys, because I haven't done it. Or Mark hasn't done it. Justin Gisby Clark's Twilight Kin against Mike Young's Kingdoms of Men. Love Kingdoms of Men, and I like Mike Young. Okay. Twilight Kin. So, a very different list. Still got too many soul players in it, in my opinion. A horde of Fleet Wardens.
Yeah.
With Blood Hex, Veterans of the Celestial War, and a Staying Stone, making them 23-24. Blood Hex means they can be up 1 defense once per game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Veterans of Celestial War makes the...
+1 nerve.
+1 nerve. Okay, so 23-24. Okay, pretty tasty. Yeah, another regiment of mutants with the Chalice of Wrath to try and counteract that 14-17 nerve. 2 troops of phantoms, again. Only 2 hordes of impalers this time, and 3 soul flayers. So I tell you there's no different. It's absolutely the same list. It's exactly the same list.
The Fleet Wardens and the impalers do almost exactly the same role.
Yeah. There is no boats, though. So he has got the Planar Apparition because he remembered to put it in his list, unlike Alistair. He has got a Navigator without any upgrades or items, and he's got 2 Summoner Crones, one of whom has the Edge Periscope, Bane Chant, and Weakness 4. The other one just has Weakness 4. And a Void Lurker with Pride of the Dark Fleet. Again, so this is a very, very similar
the exact same list.
No boat, and he's got a Mind Screech.
He's just got soul players instead of boats, and remember to bring them
instead of boats. Yeah, so this is the same list. So we're trying to say, whatever. Okay, fine. Mm-hmm. Mike Young. So I love Kings. I'm currently painting Kings of Men. I've just put together a bunch of Sisterhood. They're really good models once you chop their heads up. Anyway. They are rustic, though, so I can't glue them together. I've got the right glue. Anyway, Horde of Foot Guard with Indomitable Will and the Sanguinary Scripture. That goes with the... I assume he's got a Sanderbearer, yeah. So with the Aura of Life Leech, so that kind of effectively makes him Life Leech too. A Horde of Bowmen. A regiment and a horde of knights, and the horde's got Indomitable Will and Brew of Sharpness, which makes it an absolute beast.
Yeah, I like that.
32 attacks on 2s.
Ow.
Because there's no kill like overkill.
Why?
You're a bad man, Michael.
A horde of Beast Cavalry with all the upgrades and Boots of Striding, which they come with. Here's my Beast Cavalry, guys. I know it's not about me, but 3 ballistas. I love a ballista.
Really underrated, I think, as a...
Yeah, they're really good. 3 is a lot. A giant with the Slayer upgrade, and the Army Standard Bearer with the loot. So he's got that Life Leech aura. Double wizards, not on Pegasuses, which is unusual, I think, for a Kings of Men list. And one's got Conjurer's Staff, Bane Chant, Lightning Bolt, and Hex. And one of them's got Shroud of the Saint, Lightning Bolt, and Heal 5. So Heal 3, obviously, upped by Shroud of the Saint. No, we have not looked at Simon Tanner's list yet. And we have 2 generals on Winged Beast, so 2 mini dragons, one with Healing Brew, one with Blade of Slashing. All right. What do we think? So we've talked much. This list doesn't have the shooting of the boats, but it has these Fleet Wardens and says the Fleet Wardens are...
The Fleet Wardens do pretty much the exact same role as the Impalers. The extra nerve balances out, Phalanx balances out the defense. Damage output is almost identical. Footprints very similar. I actually prefer the Fleet Wardens because they're better in my opinion.
More of a table block as well. Triple Soul Flayers. I think is too many Soul Flayers personally. But I'm not as good a player as Justin is. He has got Planar Apparition, so nothing's shifting those Impalers and Fleet Wardens. He's just going to heal and heal and heal because the weakness is going to make sure things don't kill. Because Mike's got a big problem in that while he's got a Cav Horde, which is lovely, I just wonder if he's going to
charge it once.
Because you can just throw Soul Flayers into it, right?
Or you just throw the Phalanx Fleet Warden Horde.
Not that we're telling him, but the Ballistas can do work because they can take off Impalers quite nicely.
That'd be stealthy.
Where's the stealthy aura come from? He hasn't got the feel. The Navigator stealthy. Oh, yeah, stealthy and spell ward, right? Yeah. I've never played either of these players. I don't think I've
played both. I've played Mike quite a few times. Played Justin once or twice. Mike knows Kings of Men very, very well.
He does. He's in fact best Kings of Men player. That's why he's qualified.
He's played a very similar list quite a few times, I think. He's really good. It's not going to be a question of player skill here. I think purely on the list, I think Justin's got this one. I prefer this of the 2 Twilight King lists. I think it's just got the support tools a bit more, and probably has the same damage output. But yeah, I think just on the list, I think Justin's got this. There's nothing at all wrong with Mike's list. It just probably doesn't have quite enough tools to get through.
I think it's generally acknowledged that Twilight King is probably a higher tier list than Kings of Men. Kings of Men is quite generic. The Void Lurk has got the rule Voracious. Isn't that the Halfling rule Voracious?
No, that's Ravenous.
Oh yeah. Sorry, my bad. What do you think, Mark? Oh, sorry, I didn't do the unit strengths. Mike's got 8 score units.
Wow.
Because of all the war engines and got all the cavalry. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, because the wizards aren't even flying. 8 score units off 14 units. 21 unit strength. That's a problem. I'm going to say that's an outright. That's a problem.
Yeah, I think Justin, because he's been using the Night Stalkers, so he's used to Soul Flayers on that part, and knows how to use them there. I think Mike's bloody good with the Kings of Men though, but I think Justin possibly has got this one. That's where I think it is, yeah. But the Wind Blast is going to be very ineffective here, so it's basically the Soul Flayers are also going to be the striking units, I would have thought, because it's a token one. So as soon as you pick up, you can't be Wind Blasted.
Very expensive chaff.
Yeah.
I mean, they're flanking units out there. They're not even chaff at that point. They're just charging in the flank anything that's trying to grind through with those 3 big hordes.
I got to give it to Justin as well, I'm afraid. Sorry, Mike. Is it a clean sweep for Justin as far as we're concerned?
I think so.
I think so. Sorry, Michael.
First time we've agreed on something.
Yeah.
I feel really bad.
That means we're probably all very wrong.
Yeah, I really hope so.
Turn up, Mike, because I don't want to play. I'd rather be talking on the internet, please. You can do it. I'm going for Mike Young. Go, Mike Young! Oh, Kingdom Come. Next, we have Simon Tanner's Riftforge Orcs versus Michael Smith's Abyssal Dwarfs. Now, I would say that Mike said that he wanted to go on the stream. So, Sai, who was the player that I played this week, by the way? You want to go on the stream? Just let me know. Send me a text. Right. So, Riftforge Orcs. I have lost to these Orcs. He has got a horde of Legionnaires with Staying Stone, making them 22, 23. A horde of Thunderseers with a Chalice of Wrath. A horde of Hellstrikers with Dwarven Ale. Fight Wagon Legion. You got to admire a Fight Wagon Legion, I feel. Storm Giant with the Giant Cleaver for Slayer. A Flagger. A new upgraded Flagger with Strength in Numbers. What does that do? Can't remember. It does something cool. Doesn't it give... it gives Rampage. It's Nora Rampage, isn't it?
Yeah, for every unit within range.
It's good. It's big.
Yeah.
With the loot. Stormcaller with Blizzard. Blizzard. You don't see Blizzard very often.
It freezes,
Wither and Perish. He's taken two spells you do not see. Blizzard and Wither and Perish.
Yeah.
Thonar, who is amazing. Thonar. He's got a Stormbringer on Hellstrike Manticore. And then he's got the Iron Boots formation, which is 2 regiments of Legionnaires. And a Reborn Legionnaires regiment who gain Inspiring and an Aura of Wild Charge for Orcs, which means that Fight Wagon Legion is charging 17.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Fun little list. Mike's Abyssal Dwarfs. He's got 3 troops of Gargoyles, 2 hordes of Golems. So this is very much like the list that Andy Ransom didn't take. 2 regiments of Half-Breeds, 1 with Elite and 1 with Strider. An Ironcaster with his Tome of Darkness, a Knowledgeable Upgrade, and Host Shadow Beast 4, along with his Surge 5. 3 Half-Breed Champions. Wow, I wonder who he's going to be casting Host Shadow Beast on. 3 probably Bracky Barker. 3 Half-Breed Champions, one of which got Scythe of the Harvester for Rampage D3. One of who's got Axe of the Giant Slayer for Slayer D3. And one of whom is kind of like the red-headed stepchild with Blade of Slashing. Like, how come you guys got these cool weapons? Little slashing blade. Like, shut up. Anyway, Bracky Barker, who's very good, and then he's taken the. I've never seen anyone take the Abyssal Dwarf formation, but he's taken the Slave Orc formation called the Brewing Rebellion.
Well, have you seen the character that comes with it? It's really, really good.
Yeah, really good. So it gives you 2 regiments of Slave Orc Gore Riders, which aren't shabby. I'm going to be honest. They are 12-14 nerve. However, Jag Bloodspike is rallying 2, knocking them back up to a normal 14-16. He's got an Aura of Wild Charge 2, so they all charge 18 inches. And Brutal, and Crush 2, and Thunderous 1. And he's very inspiring. So that's pretty nice, to be honest. So that cavalry, while it hits on 4s, they're basically goblins with more crushing. Yeah, so there we go. Simon's got 12 units, quite light, very, very, which is Riftforge Orcs. They're bloody expensive, but he has got 26 unit strength. They both have 9 scoring units, so both hysterically low on scoring units. However, Mike's got 15 units.
I'm not surprised Mike's Locus has got, 5, 6 really fighty individuals?
He's got 3 half-breed champions, so each of them's got 6 attacks.
And Bracket.
A bunch of Rampage and Slayer, and he's got Bracky Barker, and he's got Jag Bloodspike.
That's a nasty amount of stuff that can mob a unit.
And he's got golems just sitting there mopping up stuff, I guess. But it's only the golems, really. Everything else is very kind of fragile.
Those amount of individuals will be a nightmare for some lists. So like Halflings just could not deal with that. John's Fleabags won't be able to deal with it. Of all the lists that could deal with it, Fighty Riftforge Orcs is probably one of them. Because
they're not going to chew through some of these, and they're all defense 5.
Yeah.
And nerve is so high.
You could wipe all of them out in one go if you roll well.
I just wish he'd put a war drum in it, if I'm honest with you, looking at this list. Because it's so durable and so punchy.
Yeah.
War drums are cheap. Cheap. It could have really benefited from a war drum.
I didn't realise Riftforge can now get the war drum, to be honest.
Yeah, I know.
They don't benefit as well. Is it only
one rally for normal, and then 2. But then that fight, the fight wagons would have been rallied 2, so they've been dash 22. Right? It's just worth it. Rather than maybe the Stormcaller.
I think Simon's got it for this one from the lists. There's I actually really like the Abyssal Dwarf list here. It's a little gimmicky, in the fact that it's individual spam, which isn't seen very often. That'll catch Strumless out and will do a lot of damage to them. I think actually it's a bad matchup here for Mike.
But triple gargoyles, he's going to be deciding who charges what.
He is, but I think when he commits, I think the Reforge can deal with it.
What's your thought, Mark?
I've not seen Michael's a bloody good player, but I've not seen him play the Abyssal Dwarfs. So, whereas Simon's been he's been playing the Reforge Orcs, so I think it is probably Simon's.
Okay. Well, I'm torn now because automatically, as the contrary person, I want to choose the other guy, right? But Saitana is one of my local guys. So, but just out of balance, I choose Michael Smith. I think that's a lot of individuals. There's a lot of attacks. You get them all into the same place and they're all speed 8. It's going to be really unpleasant to deal with. 6, 12, 18, 24 attacks on 3s and crush 2 plus the additional. It's a lot.
It's worth saying Mike is going to absolutely wreck some lists with this. As I said, anything like Halflings, the Goblins, they just will not be able to deal with this.
It's also going to be really good against shooting lists. Really good. Because those individuals
really good against shooting. I think the James's Elf gun line, this would be a really good counter to it. But yeah.
Anyway. Cool. Moving to a few onwards. I've got to set the timer for half these. I know how we're doing. So 20 past 10. We're doing all right. We're doing good, guys. 11. Match number 11. We've got the inimitable Ian Sturgis and his Trident Realm against Richard Luke and his Basilans. I've also lost to recently. So these are Ian's Trident Realms. Ian is self-declared casual gamer.
No.
Absolutely devastating with this list. Devastating.
This is a nasty list in Ian's hands.
So he has not one Regiment of Thule because he has the hidden one. So bear that in mind. Little Regiment of Thule at the top there. So he's got an extra Regiment of Thule. Heart Piercer Regiment, Depth Horror Horde with Strider, Giga's Horde, Tidal Swarm Regiment. It's literally one of everything. Coral Giant with the Giant Cleaver for Slayer. A Kraken. So damn good. Naiad Stalker with the Axe of the Giant Slayer, giving him an extra Slayer D3. We have a Thule Aquamage. There were so many special rules in this, by the way. It's quite hard to fit this on 2 pages. I think it was on 3 at one point, but I cut it back. So, an Aquamage with Conjurer's Staff, Weakness, and Barkskin. Barkskin 5. Very, 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 very good. An Envoy with the Loot. Ector, who is just one of my most hated characters in the game. He's so good. Worm Rider Centurion. And then the hidden ones.
Often, but
you don't see it very often.
And I don't know why, because they're just better versions of Knuckers.
They are really good. Then, Knuckers. Yeah, well,
everyone takes Knuckers, and the Centurion is just better.
Knuckers are stealthy, aren't they? It's probably why, and they're high 5. And the hidden ones. So hidden ones are 2 regiments of Thule and Inisha. He's given Anisha the Gnome Glass Shield, an extra level of spells, so she can take Host Shadow Beast 3, which makes her extremely, extremely unpleasant. And this hidden ones are obviously all stealthy, as well as Ensnare and Pathfinder. So the Thule are stealthy naturally, but they gain Pathfinder. So that's Ian's Trident Realm. This is Richard's Basilan, which he's been playing all year. He's got 2 hordes of Elohi, both of which don't have the extra strength. 1 Drunken Ram, 1 Brewer of Strength, though. Ogre Palace Guard hordes with Chalice of Wrath, double Ger Panthers, double Regiment of Knights, 1 with Strider, 1 with Haste. Just the 1 Phoenix, and I know on good authority he's got 1 Phoenix because he can't be bothered to paint the second one. A Priest with Conjurer's Staff, Bane Chant, and Heal. And an Abbess on a Ger Panther, also with a Gnome Glass Shield. There's a lot of these Gnome Glass Shields running around in this game. He has taken Julius, and he has also taken Nias. They're both out to play. So Ian has 15 units, 23 unit strength, and 10 scoring units. The same number of scoring units as Richard. However, Richard has only 12 units and a 21 unit strength. So I think Ian, he has more units, less speed, but doesn't really care because this list is insanely flexible.
Yeah.
Like insanely flexible.
And very, very durable. Like, so surprisingly durable when you look at it at first. Yeah, as you say, he just doesn't care about the speed matchup here. He can just take the charges all day long.
He's got part where he can define who gets charged, right? Stick Bart skin on it, but weakness on what's going to charge him.
Yep.
I mean, the one thing Richard does have is, I mean, it's all hammers pretty much. It's very hammery, and he's going to be trying to sneak around every flank he can. It's whether he can with the terrain that's there. Not a lot of token carries by the Palace Guard.
No, because as soon as things go in, they knacker themselves if they pick up the token, innit? I know Richard's been getting better and better and better, and he's bloody epic now with Basil's. But I think it's an Ian game on this one.
I think it's an Ian one for this one. Sorry. I know Andy said about scenario jump on this token turn 1. Ian's list is really quite punchy. If you and it's got range to the middle line turn 1 with the quite a lot of his stuff. So if you just jumped on and grabbed objectives, and then you'd get hit hard as a result.
He's got a little bit of shooting. He's not less shooting than he normally would take, I think. But I haven't seen Ian's list for a while. He's got the Stalker and some Heart Piercers. Hector's got his damaging Wind Blast.
Hector's going to be a nightmare into turn low high hard. Or a cav regiment. You can just shut down
anything.
You can just shut down a unit of knights for the entire game.
I got to. Obviously, Rich is my guy, so I got to go.
Yeah,
Rich.
I'm going in.
I think he's going to struggle. It's going to be really hard. That's really hard. And
yeah,
sorry,
Richard. I'm going with Ian on this one. Sorry.
A top player across multiple systems.
I'm sure you'll ask us later, but I think with this list and Ian, I think he's one of my contenders to take the whole thing.
He is. And the annoying thing about Ian is that he'll tell you why he's beating you while he's beating you. Yeah, everything you've done there. All right. Right. So on to Tom Robinson. Table 12 with his Northern Alliance against Aaron Rankin's Goblins. Boo, Tom Robinson. Love you, Tom. So, Tom, everyone knows Tom Robinson, best player in the world. He has got a horde of Ice Naiads with Tundra Fighters upgrade and Spears and Hammer Measured Force, giving them Ensnare. I thought I heard Tom Robinson say Hammer Measured Force is a trap. Anyway.
It's a trap, it's a fall. I'm clearly a better King's War player than he is.
Yeah. 4 regiments of Pack Hunters with the standard bows. 4 regiments of Pack Hunters. Anyway, Regiment of Ice Elementals, which I've not seen him use previously. 1 horde of Frostclaw Riders with the bombs and the boots of striding. Was that horde? Yeah. A regiment of Snow Foxes. 3 Snow Troll Primes. Who he has tooled up. So one of them's got a Trickster's Wand for Hex, one of them's got a Zephyr Crown for Wind Blast, and one of them's got a Boomstick for Lightning Bolt 3. Pardon me. And then Double Dragon. 2 Lords and Chimeras, 1 with Blade of Slashing, and 1 with Pipes of Terror. So, against Tom's Northern Alliance, which is kind of a shooty, it's yeah. Okay.
Yeah, very shooty.
Shooty and heroes. There are 4 hordes of
very
rabble.
Tommy.
This is very much, and forgive me, Aaron, if you're watching, a very meta Goblin list, I think. 4 hordes of rabble, a horde of trolls with death packs and Chalice of Wrath, a Mincer Mob troop and regiment. The troop's got striding boots, and the regiment's got sharpness, making it an absolute beat stick. Triple war trombone, double sharp stick thrower, just the 1 wing it. Yeah, couldn't be bothered to paint 1, I reckon. There are. Yeah. Double slasher with the just with the sharp stick throwers, not with the war trombones. Great a Flaggit with Diadem and Dragonkind, a Whiz with Inspiring Talisman, Weakness and Hex, and a Bruiser with the Orb of Towering Presence. Obviously jealous that all the Titans got upgraded. Putting it up to
Baby Titan.
Yeah, Mini Titan. So Tom's only 13 units, but 25 unit strength, and they all score. Whereas Aaron's got 19 units, 25 unit strength, and 11 of them score because he has all the war machines and all the heroes because goblins.
Yeah.
So let's try and get through this without saying, yeah, but it's Tom. Okay? That's the goal.
Can I just talk about the list then? Because Tom's list is brutally good.
Yeah,
Like, brutally good. I think he's yeah. I've played against it. I've chatted him with it. Well, I said chatted as he made it. Tom's just narrated to me what he's doing. My input was minimal in this, as in like, he just told me what he was doing, and I went, "Yeah, that's a really good idea." That
this looks like a very Tom comfort space list.
It's an incredibly efficient list, which is like how Tom plays. So everything is doing something, and it's doing it very, very well.
And everything shoots. Everything shoots, apart from the naiads and the snow foxes.
Yeah,
but then
it's very
quite
efficient.
a lot of shooting as well.
Yeah, but it's not as good shooting. And
speaking as everything shoots, I mean, so there's a lot to chew through in this list. A lot to chew through.
Yeah.
That is, 4 hordes of rabble is just, it takes time. He's got exploding trolls. He's got double mincer mobs. And then behind that, he's got all the war machines. I would say he's not taken water on bones and slashers, which I prefer water on bones and slashers.
He hasn't given them. He can't load them up with war pups, can he?
No. There's a significant amount of shooting in this in Aaron's list.
There is.
Oh yeah.
A lot of Tom's list is either stealthy or regenerating.
So regenerating snow troll primes, dragons don't, but
pack hunters are stealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ice elementals. The people have a look at the chilling presence special rule. That's why they probably exist in that thing. So
it gives frozen to the anything within 6 inches.
So everything's got Tundra Fighter.
Well, I think what we should say is, Aaron, best of luck to you.
There's always game 2. No, to be fair,
Tom's really good fun to play against us.
Tom is fun to play against as well.
Really.
The's no.
I've lost against him a couple of times.
Yeah, Tom has done well with this list. Obviously, we're club mates. I'm going to, usually I want to say horrible things about him. This is a really
he is
good
a
list.
Spectacularly ugly man. Just like
awful.
Idiot to look at.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Just joking, Tom. You're a lovely, lovely person. Cool. And into the last table, not the last table, but the last matchup, we have a mirror match. We have Chris versus Chris, Dwarf versus Dwarf. Chris Christopherson versus current UK number 1. Is he current UK number 1? I can't remember. He has been.
No, he's current master.
Current master.
John's current
John
UK
1 currently. So current last year's master, Chris Lynch, who has been playing a different list every single tournament and is once again borrowing someone else's army because he can't be bothered to paint one. And Dwarf versus Dwarf. So, Dwarves being, I think, one of the best lists in the game right now due to being overbuffed by the Rules Committee, Elliot. So we have first Christopherson's list. We have 3 regiments of Iron Guards, all with throwing mastiffs. We have double regiments of Mastiff hunting packs with throwing mastiffs. We have Gollock's Fury, the Behemoth, the upgraded Behemoth. A Battle Driller, love to see a Battle Driller. Yeah. Berserker Lord on Brock with the Gnome Glass Shield. A Steel Juggernaut. Faber Ironheart, my most hated character, just beating Ector. Still can't
I wrote him as well.
And do I hate you? The Dwarf Lord on Last Breeze with the Tricks of 1 for Hex. And he's got the Royal Guard formation. Spoiler warning, so is the other Chris. Which is 2 regiments of Bulwarkers, a horde of Ironclad with Chant of Hate. He can throw mastiffs to Bulwarkers, and an army standard bearer with the Loot of Insatiable Darkness. What does For the King do?
It is reroll headstrong rolls. The 6, so it's the old Dwarf Lord
completely
rule.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
So that's the first Dwarf list, and then let's play Spot the Difference. Chris Lynch's Dwarf list has 2 regiments of Iron Guard, as opposed to that's the same. Yeah, so 2 regiments rather than 3 with throwing mastiffs, but he's got triple sharpshooters. Big difference.
Yeah.
Double massive hunting pack, the same. Golux Fury, the same. A Berserker Lord, but this time with wings of Honeymate, rather than being on a Brock with a glass shield. Double Steel Juggernaut instead of 1. Faber's back. Which is the real Faber? One of them is the Pretender. This match will decide
Which one's
it.
got the mustache?
And then the Bullwalkers with nearly the same loadout, but he's given the Ironclad the Hammer of Measured Force, and the Army Standard Bearer is naked. Let's try and get through this one without saying, yeah, but it's Chris. Yeah. Oh, no, we can't say that because they're both Chris.
Yeah. The word Chris appears 3 times in the 2 names.
Too many. Chris number 1. So these lists are very, very similar.
Well, no, Chris is going to win.
And Chris will definitely win this game. So Chris Lynch has more ranged shooting. So he has the sharpshooters, which I don't like sharpshooters, but a lot of our American friends do. They take like 4 troops of sharpshooters.
They're very, very good.
Are they though?
Yes,
like
yes, they are. For 100 points, and they've got unit strength, and they
with this many hills against. I mean,
but you'll find a line somewhere, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Faber's very good, but he's in both lists. I just, both these lists. I think it's basically a mirror match. Just
it is pretty much a mirror match. I think Chris Lynch's version of it with the sharpshooters, I think, could be helpful because they have a not awful chance of taking off Golux Fury over the course of the game, which would be bad. Chris Christopherson deserves to win for bringing a battle driller because they're ace. I'm taking 2 of them to Oslo.
Good lad.
Yeah, it's a. So I saw somebody sort of mention that Chris Lynch is kind of bringing a bit of a ringer list or a meme list. This is not a meme list. This is a really strong Masters contention list.
Steel Juggernauts are very good. He's got 2. And Faber, which is effectively 3.
Because they give you the extra flexibility for scoring objectives, which 12s can lack.
So Chris has got Mastiff hunting packs. He's got chaff.
He does, but the throwing dogs are going to be... The throwing dogs are going to be almost wasted here because Def 6 don't care. And neither of them have bought Iron Resolve, which is a shame. As it instead of Radiance of Life on the Superlord.
So sorry, I didn't do the stats at the end. So they're the same pretty much. Chris Christoph's got 2 less scoring units and 1 less overall unit, but otherwise.
Chris Lynch's list is more similar to mine, and the fact that it's got sharpshooters. I think that's literally the only distinguishing factor between the 2. Otherwise, it's a fairly mirror match. Chris Christopherson uses dwarves quite a bit. And he's a lovely man.
Exclusively,
he's also far more beautiful, so he wins.
I think that's where Christopherson has got the.
And he's from the north, so
Well, that's his disadvantage, but but I think that's where he's got the advantage over Lynch. Is he knows the army, whereas Lynch has only had a few practice games. I would have thought.
Chris Christopherson's from Hull, so if he loses, he'll just nut you.
Yeah, I would say that, but then Chris Lynch plays a lot.
Plays everything. Plays a lot.
And he's taken a new army to every tournament, most of which he's won.
Yeah,
like he wins the tournament with a new army every time. He took a 600 point dragon and didn't lose a game.
Yeah.
To a 1995.
If there was money on it, you'd have to say Chris Lynch because you'd be a fool to bet against.
Yeah,
the reigning master and with a lot of them. I think list-wise, for the slight differences there are, I think Chris Lynch as well.
Chris Lynch, you read it? Who for you, Mark?
I think my heart says Lynch, or my head says Lynch. My heart wants to go for the one who's played dwarfs all year type thing.
The faithful, not just bringing a meme list. Lynch,
not just a wishy-washy.
Do you go Christopherson, Mark?
Yeah, I think I will do. Yeah, because he knows his list.
I'll it pains me too, but I will go Lynch. I think that is our last list. That is our last match. All 13 tables. So we've been through all of them. So what I'm going to do before we wrap up, I want to say thank you to everyone for watching and commenting so much. but let's have a quick prediction. Who we think is going to win? So who we think is going to win, and who we think is the dark horse? Elliot.
I think Tom Robinson has a really good shot this year. It's a very, very good list, and Tom's always got a good shot. James Mitchell is very much overdue to win Masters. I think he is. I really apologise, James, if you have won a major tournament, but I think he's the best player not to have won a big major tournament.
He won Northern Kings tournament just recently.
Wasn't many players there. big weekend GT is what I mean. I think James is the best player not to, from my knowledge, have won a big weekend GT. He's very good and plays very hard lists.
How about yourself, Mark?
Yeah, to be honest, I mean between probably 4, which come to mind.
Okay.
That's Lynch, Robinson, Quayle, and Sturgis.
No, John Quayle's going to come second.
Oh yeah, he's always a bridesmaid.
That's his
always
place.
a bridesmaid.
He's already written his name on the trophy. Second place, John Quayle.
Much as it spites me, because it chokes on me, but I think Tom will get it.
2 for Tom.
I can't believe I said that.
Well, who's your dark horse, Mark?
Darko, I think Ian's going to Sturgis is probably going to shake things up. I think his list is frigging nasty to do that.
Yeah.
So he may not win it, but he probably will end up deciding the winner, if you know what I mean.
Ooh, I like that. I've got John Quayle to win. Come on, John, this is your year.
Surely this time.
You can do it. JQ all the way. And my dark horse. Man. I wish I put more thought into this before I ask the question. I think my dark horse, I'm going to go with just scanning down the names. Yeah, it's going to be someone like I want to say in Sturgis, but you've already said him. So my dark horse is Tom Robinson. No, Chris Christopherson. I don't think people know enough about him and his.
I know far too much about Chris Christopherson.
Nasty draw.
I've seen things of Chris Christopherson a person should never see.
Things don't ever want to know about that.
Nice.
Cool. In which case, thank you all for watching. We finished on time, earlier than on time, because there's 3 of us, probably why. Get well soon, George. Any last comments? Anyone want to add anything before we close up the stream?
No, have fun. Sorry, I'm not in the country.
And Andy has twice mentioned Andy Moonraker that he wants to win the spoon. I'm going to win the spoon. I'm going to win the spoon. Something so dramatic. Anyone else? Anyone for any more? Thanks to you too, Ed. And I guess we will see you guys on Saturday. Looking forward to it. I can't wait. Should be really cool. As long as we're relying on Clive to give us enough table room. But he has promised, right? 13 tables?
Yep. He's promised. I'm still waiting back. We've got Ricky, who's going to be opening up again.
Ricky. Amazing. Good stuff. In which case, we shall see you on Saturday, guys. Good luck to you all. May the best player win. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.